All right, welcome back to the Sunday afternoon stream. My name is Angela, and coming to you today from sunny, beautiful St. Paul, Minnesota. Hope everybody is doing well. Yesterday we started. Let me see here. Hang on, I'm already distracted. Start recording. There we go. Yesterday we started working on this project, which is a project from Frontend Mentor. This is called Product Cart. What is it called here? The full name. Product List with Cart. And this is one of their free projects. I did go ahead and put this up on GitHub. If you're interested, we'll put the link in the chat. Their license says to please not share the design files. And I thought that meant any design files, including the JPEGs, which are for the free version. But really, it just meant, there we go. Really, it just meant not the paid design files. So this project, if you're a pro member of Frontend Mentor, comes with like Figma, the professional tools. I think it's Figma, and I don't remember what else they use. I'm not a paid member. I just downloaded the free project, which came with JPEGs. So we're doing everything based off of this. I also had a request to do this with vanilla CSS, so that's what we're doing. And if you want to follow along, happy to have you. I made one mistake yesterday, which I didn't realize until after I was done. Let me get this. Yeah, that works. I didn't realize until after we were done. They specified a desktop width of 1440 pixels, and I mistakenly put in 1140 pixels, and I realized it yesterday after we had ended the stream. So I corrected that, if you were wondering, and it looks a lot better. It looks normal now. So my goal for today is really just to finish building out this design. So we need to get some stuff in our cart here. We need to style our buttons, finish styling these individual cards, and yeah, that's really the plan for today. We, for the most part, finished just our sort of core basic styles, including how we're handling the images. We handled a lot of the responsive stuff, and all of this is actually looking really good. So I don't think we're going to have to do a ton more responsive. And of course, if we do, that's not a big deal at all. Really, I just want to see the rest of these things get styled and see the cart get styled. And then next week, we'll pull in all of there's dynamic data. They include a JSON file. So there's dynamic data for all of the products. There's a full list of images. We'll get all those pulled in next week with JavaScript, and we will build out this cart functionality. So let's get started. What do I want to do? Okay, so I really want to get, I'll make this a little bigger. I really want to get these cards finished. So let's work on this button. So we've got this pill-shaped button. The outline looks like the dark, I think the dark rose. Yeah, I'm going to say this rose 900 is what that outline looks like. Maybe the text as well. Yeah, I wonder if this is also that dark rose. Yeah, well, let's just get started when we have a hover here on the button, everything turns to the same color red. And this color red looks the same as this color red, which is just this right here, this red. So I'm going to go with that. I mean, we don't have the design files, so we're winging it a little bit, and I'm completely fine with that. I personally like winging it. Not everybody agrees, but I do like it. So let's, what did we call our button? So I think we just called it cart button. We've got a little SVG in there. So our figure, I think it makes sense to put position relative on the article. So we'll start with that. Grid item. Where are we here? Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to do position relative. Let's see. This might be better. Yeah. And then let's do, well, I'm going to put it after the image. Yeah, we can do position. No, that's not what I wanted. We can do position absolute. I mean, that's aggressive, but it's totally appropriate. We'll do, I'm going to do bottom 0 for now, even though I know that's going to change. Left 50%. Transform, translate. We'll do that on the x-axis, minus 50%, which will calculate the total width of the button, and it should center it for us. Yeah, right there. And how far up do we need to move this? So here's our article. Our button comes immediately after the it makes me, I don't think a button should go inside a figure tag. I think this is fine. So we could just do like minus, let's put some Z index on that. Bottom, not minus, probably just, yeah. I'm thinking that it would be better to go from the top because so we need to, I wonder if it's better to put the, can you put a button inside a figure tag? It doesn't feel semantic. We could also just put a div around the figure and the button and then position it to that container. That might be a better way to go. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do, because as we size our screen, it seems like, I mean, it seems like our button is following along pretty well. Okay, we can try this, positioning it from the bottom. I reserve the right to change my mind at a future time. Yeah, we can do that. And then let's make sure that our button is white space no wrap, which makes the white space no wrap, so we don't have that text wrapping. There's really no reason for it to wrap. There we go. It's got plenty of room. Yeah, that button doesn't really... If we do this from the top instead... I don't want to do 100%. I don't think 50%'s enough. Yeah. Okay, I am going to put that inside of a container because I need better control over that button when these images size. So let's put a div around the figure and the button and go that route. Let's see here. Okay. I'm gonna call this I guess button container. And then yeah, I think that makes a lot more sense. So I'm gonna take, I'm gonna take position relative off the grid item, and we'll go with button container. And yep, there we go. Perfect. Now all we have to do is just move it down a little bit. It's about in the middle. I'm just gonna do -1 rem, and we'll adjust it if we need to. Yeah, looks good. And then let's put a little bit of margin after the button container, like margin on the bottom, so we can push that other text down. Yeah, that looks good. Now let's actually style our button. So I usually do appearance none, and then we want border. I'm gonna go with this rose 900. Let's see here. We want 1 pixel solid, and then that's our color. And then for border radius, to get a perfect pill shape on any size, I always do 50 VH. Yeah, we just need a little padding in there. So right now by default, it's got some padding I can see. Let's do, oop, that's a lot. I mean, that looks good on the left and right, but maybe on the top and bottom. And I think we definitely need to align what's happening inside this button. So we'll do padding, 0.5 rems on the top and bottom, 1 rem on the left and right. I'm also going to do display flex. Whoop. Display flex. Flex flow. Row, no wrap. Justify content, space between, align items, center. It's a lot of button styles, but hey, that looks pretty good. Do we need it to be a little wider? I mean, yeah, let's give it like a minimum width, probably well, what's the width now? The width now is 137. I'm gonna give it a minimum width of 200. And a minimum width means that it can get bigger if it needs to. Oop, that's too big. That's too big. Maybe 150? I think it has a little more space on the left and right, so maybe instead of space between, we could do space evenly. Yeah. So that gives it an even amount of space on the left, right, and in between the SVG and the text. Yeah, I like that. And then let's change the text color. We'll go ahead and do color bar. I'm going to do this Rose 900 again. And then I'm going to do cursor pointer, which I feel like is very controversial, except that they have it here. So now we just need to do some hover styles. Oh, and we need to change the color of the SVG. Oh, we already have the color, so I can see here what it is. Hello. Get Education Easily is saying hello. Hello, thanks for joining the stream. Happy to have you. Let's see here. What was I just doing? Oh, I wanted to check the color of the button SVG. So these are all HSL. Show me C73A0F. 0 Pretty close. That's the fill color. Okay, so that is the red. So we need to make sure that on hover, our text and our border changes to red. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll do hover, active, and I do focus styles, but I don't change the outline. I like to keep the browser default outline of that blue border, but I do also include focus styles. So if you're tabbing through and the button gets focus, it gets the blue outline and it gets the styles. So I didn't used to do that. I mean, at the beginning of my career, I used to do that, and then I stopped doing that, and now I do it again. So let's put a transition on the button. We'll say, I'm just going to say all. Ease in, out. And then we'll change the border color to red. And we'll change the color to red. Oh, we're not getting anything here. Oh, you know what? That's not how you do it, is it? I'm thinking of before and after pseudo classes. Here we go. I think that's a 1 pixel border. Yeah, I'm going to stick with 1 pixel. So now this moves pretty well. It stays with it, doesn't bust out of its container. I think that button needs a little more padding. So I'm going to add just a little more. Yeah, I think that looks a little better. I have the windows open today. It is such a nice day, and my dog is barking at people, so sorry about that. Let's just pull this back a tiny little bit. Yeah, I like it. Looks good. All right, let's finish styling this text. So I think the full title is that Rose 900. I think this price is the red color, and I think waffle is, what's waffle? I feel like what is this? So that's the Rose 500. So our category is Rose 500. This is Rose 900. And I think the price is red. That's what I'm going with. And then our text. This is a little bit. This is a little too big, a little too bold. What is this? I think we called this an H3. What are our choices? 300. Hang on. Red hat. Wait a second. They told us. The weights are 400, 600, 700. So I'm going to do 600 for that H3. And we gave that a class of tertiary header. So I'm going to give this a font weight of 600, and the color, I think I said yep, we just need to bring it down a little bit. So right now the font size by default is 1.17. Yeah, and then here's our category, item category. I'm going to bring this font size down a little bit to maybe just 0.9 rems. I don't want to get too small. And then our color is, I think we said rose 500. And let's adjust some of this. The margin is 1 rem on the top and bottom. I'm going to change it to 0.5 on the top, bottom, none on the left and right. Yeah, that looks a little nicer. And then let's change our item price to red. And this looks like the font weight is a little bit bigger as well. So we'll do font weight 600. Yeah, I like it. I like it. And we need a little extra room underneath each of these cards. So maybe we'll do a margin on the bottom of 1 rem. All right, I like it. mean, it holds up really well on mobile. Yeah, I think that holds up really well on mobile. So let's go ahead and style our cart. So we have a couple things going on here. We also have, let's see here, we also have a dialogue. I don't know if we're going to get to this today. I have a feeling that I'll be doing the dialogue next weekend. So if you've joined the stream at any time in the past, a couple projects ago, we did a modal dialogue. And I learned a lot doing that project. Yeah, a lot. Okay, so let's go ahead and get our markup in, write our HTML for this. So So let's put a div around this because clearly this SVG is not going to be shown. Empty cart. Clearly this SVG won't be shown as long as there are things in the cart. So we need to account for that. I think I need to leave this open. I'm going to take myself off here. There. There's our sidebar. Oh, that's okay. We'll do some refactoring next weekend too. So we'll say empty. Abdallah is here. Hello. We missed you yesterday. I'm building your product cart for you. Excited to have you. I think that this is the correct Abdallah. Am I correct? Did you change your profile picture? So our profile cart would be, I think by default, I would say display none. And then we would just add a class that says active display block. I suppose we could just do that right on the SVG too. Yeah. We'll do that. So by default, that SVG is display none unless there's an empty cart, in which case that will be one of our event listeners. Let's see here. Active, just no, empty cart. SVG display none. What's happening here? Oh, we might need to do a little refactoring now. Oh, no worries. Are you apologizing because we missed you yesterday? Life is happening for all of us. No worries. I'm glad to see that you're back. Okay, so let's move. I think we need to move our sidebar stuff down to the bottom. I'm going to leave these sidebar things here and move the rest down. And then I think we can combine some of these things. So I'm going to take that and put it there. And then we actually don't need this. Yep, there we go. Oh, same with that. Yeah, maybe we do want to put empty cart around those two things. Yeah. Ah, you had work yesterday? I understand. Well, I'm happy that you're back because I like having my people who come every weekend. So, glad that you're here. And yeah, very much enjoying building our product cart. I'm definitely thinking about how this is going to go next weekend. I mean, as you all know, the HTML and the CSS for me is the easy part. It's the JavaScript that's the hard part, which is why I decided to start doing this live stream, because I wanted to get better at this. So yeah, next weekend's going to be an adventure, but I am very much enjoying building this out. So we're going to have fun next weekend. I know we are. We're going to have fun. Okay, so here's our empty cart div. We'll do another div called full cart. And this one's going to be basically the opposite. So we'll say full cart display block. And then we'll do an active class on this, which would be display none. So depending on which is which. So let's get this is a carbon neutral delivery. Okay. This is a carbon neutral delivery. And I think we need to get another SVG in here. And then we want another button, confirm order. So we'll put this here, button. We'll say class, confirm order. And then we have order total, which is above this. So we'll do another div, and we'll say class order total. There has been a lot of progress. We got a lot done yesterday. We moved pretty quick getting this HTML written and a lot of the styling and the grid done. So hopefully, if you're able to watch the stream from yesterday, you'll see all that, but also everything is in the GitHub repository. I haven't deployed it yet, so I'll probably go ahead and deploy it this afternoon. Order total. And then I'm just gonna put, hang on, I'm just gonna put a span inside here. And then we'll say class total amount 4650. And we can go ahead and put a class on this. We'll just say order total. And then we'll put a class on this. Say carbon neutral. Did I spell that right? There we go. All right. How are things looking so far? Yeah, so far so good. Oh, the div and the, let's see here. Oh, they do. Yes, thank you. I didn't even notice that. Maybe. Do I, you know what? Do I even need? I'm just gonna take out the div. I'd rather have a P because that feels more semantic to me. I don't know. I'm gonna do that. Thank you. Yeah, no, it's a bad idea to put multiple class names on the same thing. That was an oversight. I literally, my eyeballs did not move up to see that. So thank you for noticing that for me. This is a better approach. So I'm just going to put two, I'm just going to have these two P's right there. Yeah, I think that works. So now let's put in another div. And we'll just say cart items. And I mean, I want to use articles for this. Say cart item. I'm going to say cart container so it doesn't get too confusing. Cart container, cart item. And then we want 1x. Oh, yeah, all those things are going to need like their own spans, aren't they? Okay. So we'll do class quantity. 1x. Then we'll do, I'm using spans because by default they're inline elements, so they will line up. They will line up perfectly. So this is the quantity. This is each item, like the price per item. So I'll do class each item. So we'll say at $5.50, and then we'll say span. This would be item total. Item total. I think this will work. Yeah, I think this will be okay. Does the JSON, how's the pricing. That should be okay because I think in our JavaScript we can designate like US dollars. Yeah. And then we just need to put our SVG. Remove item. Put that right there. Yeah. I mean, I'm telling you, the power of semantic HTML. Do not underestimate the power of good semantic HTML. Knowing the difference between a div and a span, and please forgive me if you already know this. I think you should not do that. Hang on here. I'm not sure what you're talking about. I'm going to finish my thought and you tell me what you think I should not do. You might be reacting to something I did a couple of minutes ago. I do know some junior developers who have, because this should be done. Oh yeah. So I haven't pulled in any JSON yet. So Abdullah is saying this should be dynamic. This is only for the purposes of styling. Next week, we're going to pull in that dynamic JSON data file, and then everything will be dynamic. So today, I'm just styling. Everything is static. Everything next week, we'll pull in the JSON, and it will all be dynamic. So the whole point of this is to style each of those elements, and then to have these things ready for us so we can actually put in that data from the JSON file. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. This is my approach. I really don't like to pull in anything until I have all the HTML and CSS nailed down. That is that's the approach I really like to take with a lot of this. And then I have all of these things in my mind ready to go next week. And I can consult each thing here. Yeah, I can consult each thing here and just sort of make sure that as I look at the JSON, if I need to adjust, I can. But I know that next week, we're going to have to do a bunch of stuff here, right? Like I know that this span is probably going to have a calculation that's dynamic. This span is going to be this thing right here, the price. And then I know that this span is going to be a calculation of each item times quantity, right? And then we know that this SVG is going to be, well, this is probably going to be a button, actually. So we should put a button on this, because if that's something that you interact with in order to remove an item, you have to do that on a button. Not only because it's the correct semantic way to go, but buttons are what receive focus if somebody's tabbing through. So this would be remove item. So yeah, this feels like we're covering our bases for next week when we pull in that data. But also, okay, I'm going to go back and finish my original thought. This is the power of good semantic HTML. I do know junior developers that don't really understand the difference between a div and a span, or they don't really understand what a block level element is. And when you can make good semantic choices like this, look how much of the work is being done for you just with the HTML. It's so, so powerful. So I would just encourage everybody. I mean, look at how much of this is all lined up and ready to go and just needs a few styles now. Yeah, super, super powerful. It's something that I just love about HTML. Good semantic HTML. So we'll get a couple in here now. And then let's go ahead. Space these out. Oh, and we also need the name. So this, do we want to give that, does that need a heading? I don't think that needs a heading. So I'm just going to use a paragraph tag. And I'm just going to say cart heading. And what is that? Tiramisu. And let's see here. Get this copied in. And I chose a p tag because p tags are block level elements by default. And they do also have a little bit of semantic value as opposed to divs and spans that don't really have any semantic value. They don't really tell the browser or SEO anything about what is actually happening here in terms of the text. So it's not really a heading, but at least if you use a paragraph tag, you say, hey, this has like some textual semantic value. I don't know if I'm overthinking that, but that's just my approach. So, okay, now we can go ahead, and I think I must have a center someplace. Oh yeah, side wrap center. So let's change that too, because it's centering everything. Let's just do empty cart can be text align center. We'll take that off. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I think our header is that red 900. I think our quantity is red. I'm going to say our price per item is the red, I think it's red 500. And then this is just slightly darker. So what are our choices here again? So we've got rows 900, rows 500, 900, 500. Maybe this row's 400. I wonder if that's accessible. Okay, we'll do 400, 500, and 900. All right, I need a little more room here. I lost my place. Here we are. Okay. So I'll say card heading, color, var. I'm going to do rows 900. And the font weight, I'm going to do 600. And then quantity, color, var, red. And then each item, color, var. I'm going to do rows 400. Item, total, color, rows 500. Yeah, that looks about right. And then Oh, for our button, let's put in so we need an access hidden class because we need to say what this is. Remove item. And I'm going to say aria hidden true so the screen reader doesn't pick it up. And then let's write an access hidden class or some styles. And I'm going to go grab some from our last project. Here we go. So this is a screen reader friendly way to have text on the screen. To hide text from the screen, but still make sure it gets read out to the screen reader. All right. And then our button is remove item. I'm going to say appearance none, border none, and background. There we go. And now we just need to, oh, I think our quantity needs to be bold. So we'll say font weight 600. Yeah. And then I don't think we need any space here, so let's change that. Yep, that looks a little better. And then, oh, I guess we do need a border around that SVG. Here's the other thing I'm noticing is I think we should put a div around these things so we can get these lined up correctly, because it's going to make sense to use Flexbox to get these on the left and this over onto the right. So let's give this a class of cart going to call it the cart quantity. And then we could do, and I think we're going to want to put this inside the cart quantity. And then we can put Flexbox on cart item. I'm going to change that to a span. Yep, because if we change it to a span, it lines everything up for us. So might as well. And then let's make this a little more buttony. So remove item, border, 1 pixel, solid, var, black, and we're gonna have to change the, let's see here, maybe just change the, let's make it a little bigger. So we'll make it display block because SVGs by default are display in line, and it needs to be display block so we can give it a little width and height. So I'm going to say 20 pixels by 20 pixels. And I'm gonna put the border radius 50%. Do I want to put that there, or do I want to put that here? What color is that? I'm not sure what color that is. Oh, it's got a hover. That's why. Okay. So, I don't know what color this is because all the other color values are HSL. I feel like those border styles should be on the button, not the SVG. So we just need to, I think we just need to make sure this also has the same. Am I overthinking this? Let's do what we did last week. Let's make this. Here we go. I think it just has padding on it. And we need to get rid of some of that padding. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, I like that. I'm gonna make the yeah, make this a little smaller. I was just thinking that. Yeah, I like that. So now all we need to do, and I'm going to take this fill out. I'm going to take this fill out of our markup because I want to add fill here so I can actually style that transition. So now let's do transition. I'm just going to do all 300 milliseconds, ease in out. And I'm going to put this here too. We'll do a hover, active, focus, border color, black, and this will be fill, var, black. Almost. Oh, is it Rose 900? Let's see here. So when we remove, let me think. When we hover on the button, we want to trigger the SVG. Yeah. I'm thinking about how I trigger the SVG, which I've done a million times, and I'm drawing a blank. When we hover on the button. See, normally with Sass, I would just do this. So when we hover on the button, all right, let's move on. I'm going to move on and come back to this hover at a later time. Let's get these things lined up. So let's put display flex on our cart item. Do we have a cart item class yet? Let's come up here. I'm going to do display flex, flex flow, row, do row no wrap. Justify contents space between, align items, center. Oh, I think I'm gonna do flex end so I can get that button down. Flex end. Yeah. And then let's put a little space in between these with a border. And our paragraphs have a lot of padding or a lot of margin, which maybe that works to our advantage. Let's do yeah, we could just do some margin and a border on the bottom. So I'm going to do margin, bottom, 1 rem. I'm going to use rose 300 as our border color. Border, bottom, 1 pixel, solid. Oh, probably need to be padding bottom. Ooh, that's too dark. Okay, let's go with our light gray. That's too light. I think our just gray. There we go. That's looking pretty good. I think that's looking pretty good. Let's see here. Let's move this. Let's make our quantity stuff here a little roomier. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure that I can do a hover effect with CSS. I'm just having trouble remembering how to do it, especially in vanilla CSS. Like, I know there's a way to trigger a fill. Um, if I don't, I know there is though. I just need a minute to think about it. But yes, we could definitely do it with JavaScript if we need to next week. Um, yeah, yeah, we could definitely do that. If I okay, if I don't figure it out by next weekend, we will absolutely do we could set the fill attribute. So here's where I'm thinking that I do need to use a div because I can't give a span width without changing it to display block. And it didn't really matter if it was aligned because I had flex on the parent. So, okay, I'm going to change cart quantity to a div because I need to give that some width. All right. Yeah, didn't change it at all. Didn't change it at all. Cart quantity. So I'm just going to give this a width of something kind of dynamic, like maybe a minimum width of 40%, so it can grow a little if it has to. I also have to display flex this container. Okay. And then center it. Oh, for God's sakes. The cart heading needs to be with the 100%. Okay, so I think we can take out this. Are paragraphs not... Am I imagining this? HTML paragraphs can be any structural grouping of related content. Paragraphs are block level elements and notably will automatically close if another block level element is parsed before. Okay. Oh, is that why? But if I give this width 100%, why isn't it... maybe I just need to change this to width. Why isn't that pushing it down? Things are starting to get messy. This. So that's 108 pixels. Okay. So that's display flex. And that is display flex. I shouldn't have to say display block. It's already display block. What if this is also 100%? I need this to be inside. This should be 100% of the parent container, which is that. Okay, so I think I have to put a div around these 3 spans. Oh, so many divs. You know what though? That's how it goes. So we've got cart item, cart quantity, and then I'm going to do quantity wrap. Okay. Oh, Oh, it did change. One of them changed. Oh, let's finish getting all of them. Okay. Whoops. Just gonna wait until I have this one styled. Okay. There we go. So here's our cart item, cart quantity, cart heading. Put that there. Oh. Cart quantity, cart heading, cart, and then we want our, wait a second, no, that was right. Item, quantity, heading, and then our quantity wrap. And this is where I want a width of, oh. Okay, we're getting there. Oh, whoop. Oh, it just needs to be. So here's our, this needs to be with 100%. Really, does it? Hang on. Okay, so here's the top level. Here's our cart quantity. I want this to be wider. I don't want width there. Here's the quantity. Here's the heading. Here's the quantity wrap. Do I have this? I want to be 100%. Hallelujah. There we go. Okay, That's what I wanted. Okay, I need to okay, that's our cart item. Here's our cart quantity with 50%. Then we have our cart heading, which is 100%. Then we have our quantity wrap, which is 100%. Yes. Beautiful. Could maybe be a little closer together. I do feel like something, yeah, this right here should be flex start. Yeah, flex start because it's a column. And this can be a little, maybe 75%. I wonder if that's going to mess with the responsiveness. So let's just make that a pixel value so it doesn't move on us. I think maybe right about there. 145. Perfect. All right, where's our column? So this should be flex start, which is really the default value, so I don't think we need to define that. And then let's make this 145 pixels so it doesn't move around on us. And that still looks pretty good there. Still plenty of room. We'll go 150 just to be on the safe side. Let's see how this looks. Yeah, that still looks pretty good. I'm happy with that. All right, let's pop a couple more in here to make sure our spacing looks okay. Oh, there's a lot happening in this cart, but that's okay. That's how it goes, right? That is how it goes. Yeah, that looks great. The sidebar is pretty big. Maybe that's okay. I think that's okay. Maybe it could be a little smaller. Let's see. So right now I have like our main body. So if we increase this by, if we take this down to just 30%, we could take this up to maybe 68 and leave 2%. Yeah, that looks pretty good. How does that hold up? That still holds up. I bet this is, what is the color of that header? We don't need this. Rose 900. It looks so dark, but okay. So our order total, I bet that order total is also Rose 900, and I bet this is Rose 900. Let's put a span around this just so it has a container. Oops. Can also display flex this. And then let's make sure that this is color var Rose 900. And then let's make that total amount. Font size, I don't know, 3 rems. Font weight, 700. Oof, that's big. Let's try 2. That looks pretty good. Yeah, let's give it a little give it a little margin on the top. Yeah, perfect. All right, this is a carbon neutral delivery. So we'll give this some padding. Just going to give it a rem of padding, and we'll give this a background color of oop, too dark. I bet that's Oh, it's probably this. I think it's the same as the rest of this, which is what, rows 50? Maybe rows 100. We'll do rows 100. And then we'll give it border radius 10 pixels. And let's see here. Text align center. That's a little dark. Rows 50. And I'm gonna do it. Display flex. Man, we're using a lot of display flex. It feels weird to use display flex this much. Let's see here. I got a notification that the stream was malfunctioning. Let me know if you guys are able to still see me. If it cut out for there for a second, I don't think I realized it cut out. Anyways, okay, what I was saying that it feels weird to use this much Flexbox, but it's just coming in so handy. Let's see here. Let's also do align items, justify content, also center. And I think we just want to give that SVG a little bit of margin. Left, right, on the right, like 10 pixels. Yeah, I'm good with that. And carbon neutral is bold. Okay, let's see here. And hyphenated. So I'm thinking we could just do strong. All right. So we have to style strong. I don't know why VS Code does this. I'm actually not going to do strong. I'm just going to do, although I think if I put span in here, it's still going to do it. Yeah, see, it's removing spaces. It's annoying. Can I just do this? I don't think you should have to do that. I don't know why I'm being forced to do that. All right, I will style my strong tags. All right, I like that. Looks good. Now let's style our button. Confirm order. Wow, we had a lot of people join the stream today. Thank you so much to everybody who joined the stream, everybody who's been participating in the chat. Appreciate having you all here. All right, button, confirm order. So appearance, none. What's the button if you're not hovering? Is it just a darker red? I say border none. Background color. I'm going to go with just the red color. And text is white. Oh. Gotcha. Okay. And I think we need font weight 600. Font size, I'm going to say 1.5 rems for now. And let's go width 100%. Border radius 50 VH for that pill shape. And I think we need a good chunk of padding. Let's just start with the rem to see how that looks. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I think our text is definitely too big. And I don't think it's bold. I'm going to take out the font weight. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And I think it has a little more room in between. So this has, does this have margin or carbon neutral? I'm going to put a little margin on the bottom. Yeah. Hang on, that didn't do anything. I don't think that did anything. Oh, probably already had margin, that's why. Because it's a paragraph. Yeah, we'll do that instead. So we'll put 2 rems on the top and bottom and 0 on the left and right. And then we'll give this a hover state. So we'll do cursor, pointer, and then we'll give it a transition. I'm just going to say all 300 milliseconds, ease in, out. Hover, active, focus. I guess I'm just going to change the background color. Is that lighter or darker than the red? It's different. What other colors are there? There is no other red color. Okay, well, you know what? I'm gonna roll my own on this one. I'm gonna invert the colors. So let's do a border of 2 pixels, solid, transparent. Or no, let's actually do, we'll just give this also red. And then we'll keep the border and we'll change the background color to, I'm going to change the background color to white and the color to red. There. I like it. And I am going to make this text bold. And I'm going to bring this down just a smudge. I'll do font, weight, 600. Yeah. All right, here it is. let's make sure this is not behaving correctly. um, let's put this in paragraph tags. To give it some structure. Yeah, that's what that needed. We're kind of busting out of our container though, aren't we? Oh, because it's already in paragraph tags. Okay, let's change this to a div. It just needs to be a block level element, but yeah, you can't put a paragraph inside of a paragraph. That doesn't work. Yeah, there we go. And I bet we put, let me see here, put extra margin so we can take this down a notch. Oh, padding, that's what. Hang on, no, that's not it. Yeah, there we go. Because that paragraph tag by default has some margin. It might still need a, yeah. Let's give it like a half. Yeah. I'm going to give it one rem on the left and right. Yeah, so it's got a little more, it's a little squishier. Ooh, this is kind of bumping into each other too. What's happening here? So these are aligned items, but they don't look very aligned, do they? Oh, that's why. So let's get that margin off the total amount. I bet I meant to put that someplace else by mistake. I put it there by mistake. So those are aligned. I mean, I think that's okay if total wraps to the second line, because that still is aligned to me. I do think we need to make our little carbon neutral SVG. We need to give that a little bit of structure. So let's make sure that this is display block, and we'll give it a width of 20 pixels and a height of 20 pixels. Oh. Let's see here. Is this why? There we go. Say height auto. So I'm going to say give that a width of 30 pixels. I'm going to take the margin off and we'll define the width for this also. So carbon neutral. I'm going to say width calc 100% minus, I'm going to say 40 pixels, and I'm going to give this a width of 30 pixels, and I'm just going to give this a height of auto. So far, so good. Here we go. Yeah. I like that. Oh, and then let's take the margin off. And then, oh, well, I guess we need our margin, don't we? I think we could. Yeah, 30 plus 10 is 40, and we can do that. The math is mathing. Yeah, I like it. Oh, we're still not centered though. We lost our centered. Oh, that's because I just say text align center. Maybe this can just be auto. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. For this, I'm going to say text align center. Okay. Well, I think this is it for me today. I'm getting a lot of errors that the stream is not. I I think I'm streaming. I'm getting a lot of errors that the stream is having some issues. So my apologies for that. I think that I'm done for today though, and that we're going to go ahead and finish this up next weekend. I hope, knock on wood. I don't know if you've ever been on one of my streams. Sometimes that's wishful thinking. Um, yeah, we're gonna write our JavaScript next weekend, and we'll get the add to cart and quantity and all that working. Yeah, all right. Thanks for joining me. Appreciate having you all here. Abdallah, I was happy to see you today. Thanks for the help. And yeah, we had a couple other people chime in and point things out to us, so I appreciate that. And yeah, have a great day wherever you are. I will see you next weekend on Saturday, and we're going to write some JavaScript. And have a great rest of your day. Bye bye.